Hello, welcome back to Chapter 10, Section 1, Organizing and Displaying Data. In the last video, we had a line graph. Now we're looking at a double line graph. So what is this data actually going to be showing? So we're looking over time of two candidates, what the polls are saying about the support for the two candidates. And again, we are missing some important information here. We got voter support, and we're 8 weeks, 7 weeks, 6 weeks, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 weeks before the election. So this is a countdown. That's still a measure of time, but in this case we're counting backwards because we're counting down to when the election is going to take place. So we have two candidates, candidate A and candidate B, represented by red and blue. All right, and to be honest, this textbook is older than when news stations used red to represent Republican candidates and blue to represent Democrat candidates. Believe it or not, there used to be a time where they would switch that every year. I think it was the issue with Florida in the first election for George W. Bush against Al Gore that they really got stuck on, is it a red state or is it a blue state? So the reason why I'm saying that is don't assume that this is a Republican versus a Democrat. It might be even a non-partisan type of election. It might just be two people running for election. Maybe they're running for class president, or we don't even have political parties. So don't assume that. When was the support for the two candidates the closest? So I'm looking for where the lines actually come together. And they are separated, they come together, then they start to separate, then they come together again. It looks like the support for the two were as closest, they're almost the same right here. So 1 week before the election. Estimate the difference in voter support for the two candidates 5 weeks before the election. Okay, so let's find 5. For candidate A, which is in blue, it looks like it's about almost 60. So we'd say about 58. And if you think it's 57, that's no problem. If you want to just estimate and round it up to 60, that's probably okay too. For the same week, week 5, looks like that one's right on the line, so we would say 40, but maybe it's not exactly on line. Maybe it's a little bit, again, we'd have to look at the raw data, but I'm just estimating 58 subtract 40, the difference is going to be 18. So the candidate A had an 18% lead over candidate B. And we have another election coming up in November, and if you listen to the news, those are the percentages that they're going to be figuring out. For number 12, I'll move it up so you can see it. What's the general trend? Well, it looks like this one went down, went up, but then went down. This one went up, went down, went back up. In general, going from start to finish for both of them, candidate A, seems like candidate A went down while candidate B went up. In general, you can look more specific going from month to month, week to week. But if I just look at where you started and where you ended up, this one went up. That's my overall trend, while this one went down. All right, we'll see you in the next video.